Hey everyone, Rob Tui here. This video is going to be for those people who are DM's Guild creators or thinking about becoming DM's Guild creators. And I just wanted to give a little personal insight into my operation for the last 4 years. We're going to cover these subjects, top VTT items, my personal sales, gross and net, my income and earnings after those sales, and cover my projects and probably a couple other things as we go through the video. I'm assuming this video is going to be 30 plus minutes. So, first things first, let's take a look at the DM's Guild top VTT items. So if you go to DM's Guild, click on DM's Guild content over here on the left as a filter, and then come down to format and click on VTT or virtual tabletop. That will bring up just the Fantasy Grounds titles, basically. And for those of you that don't know what Fantasy Grounds is, I guess we should start there. There might be some people that don't know what Fantasy Grounds is. So let me just throw that in really quick. And again, this video is for people who are DM's Guild creators or thinking about becoming DM's Guild creators and what you can do with Fantasy Grounds. So Fantasy Grounds is a virtual tabletop software application that runs any RPG. So they have licenses with all these: Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, Savage Worlds, everything. But of course, Dungeons and Dragons is the most popular, and that's what we're talking about here on the DM's Guild. And I encourage you to go to fantasygrounds.com and check it out. There's a video here that shows you, how it all works. It's just a 2-minute video. I can play a couple seconds of it here. Smiteworks is the company that makes it, and maybe we'll. Basically, what this allows you to do is facilitate your role-playing games with anyone on Earth, and it automates the dice rolls, it automates character building, it automates the maps and tokens, it has Fog of War, it has, it would be a 12-hour video just to explain how this all works, but it's basically, just suffice to say, it's a cool program that allows you to play RPGs with anyone else on Earth. So I encourage you to check that out. This is not what that video is about. Tangentially it is, but not really. What this video is about is what I do for the community is, for the last 4 years, I've been making Fantasy Grounds modules to sell on DM's Guild. I've got over 200 of them. And if we take a look here at the DM's Guild Virtual Tabletop top 12, you'll see that if I hover over my name, Rob Tui, the last name listed there, author Dragon X Rob Tui, my name is on every one of these top 12s, and the purple covers are my own creations. So I've got 12 of the top 12, I believe. So Rob Tui, again, purple's me, again, Rob Tui. So trust me, they're all, I don't need to. So the top 12 of 12 are my titles. Now, there are other people doing this, so as you go down through, I think 703 titles at this point. 703 did I see earlier today? Maybe it's whatever it is. Yeah, 703 right here. So of that 703, I have 211. So I have about a 30% market share. I'll show you my count later. But I just want to let people know that if you are a creator of PDFs or thinking about becoming a creator of PDFs on DM's Guild, I'm going to take you through, again, my personal sales and income and my projects, and I'm going to let you know how you can do it if you're interested in having me and my team convert your titles to the Fantasy Grounds program. Now, I'm going to go into a lengthy explanation, but I'll give you the TLDR right now. The TLDR is, if you are a creator and have a PDF, you can send that to us. We charge no fee. It costs you nothing to do it. You're not risking anything. And basically, we make the Fantasy Grounds module. We sell it separately. We do revenue split. So we make money, you make money, and everybody wins. That's literally the bottom line. So I'll go into more detail about that, but that's the basic function. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching. If that doesn't sound appealing to you, I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's found money, but if it's not, you don't have to continue to watch. But we're hoping that people will dive into this. So, DM's Guild VTT top items. Okay, we covered that. So sales. Let's go to sales. So now, since it takes a long time to run this report, I ran this report already. This is basically for those of you that run royalty reports on DM's Guild. I'll go down here. This is from January of 2016 when I started to today. So today is January 22nd, 2020. So let's highlight all, and you can see that I've my personal take home has been $77,000. So that might seem good, that might not seem good, depending on who you are. But again, that's across 4 years, so that's not like I made that all this year or anything like that. So that's across 4 years. Now let's go ahead and we're going to highlight all these sales and put this into a spreadsheet. We're just going to use Google Sheets here, free, right? Go get a blank one, slap it in. And the reason I do this is so that I can look to see what the number is. I know it's over 200,000. Gross sales. So I'm going to just highlight column E and check the number. Yeah, 214,000 down here on the bottom right, $214,272. So that's gross sales. So that's money that I'm responsible for having sold that goes to Wizards of the Coast. It goes to One Bookshelf. It goes to Smiteworks, the makers of Fantasy Grounds, and then it goes to me and my team. So that all gets cut up in various different ways. And you see here, most of these are 50%. If you're a creator on DM's Guild, you know that you get half. And then if it's a lower percentage, that means other people are getting money. So I'm splitting that out and cutting it up with people. So that's kind of the whole point. So let's go back here. Now I will show you. I'm one of these people. I'm not afraid to let everyone know, how I'm doing it, because I'm basically want to promote people being successful on Dungeon Masters Guild. And one of the ways you can be successful is for me to be successful. So if you have projects that you've done that are PDFs, you can slide them over to me. I'll change them into Fantasy Grounds modules and sell those and give you your cut, and I take my cut. And if my team works on it, they take their cut, and everybody wins because it doesn't cost you anything. There's no fee to do that. It's just free. So let's take a look at what should we take a look at? Gross net sales. Okay, so let's go to here. I'll bring over this one. Well, no, let's look at sales. Let's bring this one over. So this is just interesting to look at. Well, if it comes over, let's see if I can get it over here. Okay, come on. Let's just everybody cooperate. I'm Elmer Fudd all of a sudden. So these are all of the items that have been sold. Oh, I've already sorted this. Normally it's alphabetically, but what I did is I sorted it by sales per week. So actually, I'm going to come back to that. I don't want to confuse the issue, so I'll sort it back to alphabetical here. And as you can see, in 4 years, I have sold a total of 23,000 items on DM's Guild. That's the total sales through yesterday, I believe, through January 21st, 2020. So all listed alphabetically on the side. Anything that's green is a collaboration. Anything that's white is something I did myself without help. The sort of pink purplish color those are packages. And then the one that you saw was an odd fuchsia thing. That is Monsters of the, here, this one. That's Monsters of the Guild. So that's a special case because I was a contributor to that. I did the Fantasy Grounds version, so I did this one here. But this is the actual PDF and book sales. And the reason that's in this spreadsheet is I get 0.5%, or I get half of 1% for that. So I have it in here. But I'll go through what all these numbers are. So obviously title, number of copies sold, date it was published, how many per week, and that becomes important to me later. And then notes. The notes is JWLMSS, the initials of the guys on my team, if they did work, some of the work or all the work. And the insanity, that's just if it was in my insanity bundle at the end of 2019. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and sort this out, because I'm here to tell you you can do well and you can make a lot of money, get a lot of exposure, and help a lot of people, even without having high metal sales. So if I sort this by number of copies sold, which is column C, in reverse order, We'll go up to the top here. Now again, Monsters of the Guild is a special case, and it's sold, I think, 1,094 copies, because you got to add 950 plus the 144. The reason that 144 is there, just as a, for anybody that's curious, and why does it say that? It's because the people that put that together had to sell 144 copies to make back their investment and then turn on the commission. So there's actually been, you know, 1,094 sales, but 950 is all there's been commissioned for, which is why the metal is it's actually a platinum metal, but I only have it here as gold because this is automatically. See, if I change the number to 1,200, it changes the, it's conditional formatting is why so it's automatic. But these are not automatic. Anyway, so you can see my top seller is the Fantasy Grounds coding package. Now that was sold as a zip file that contained all 4 single items in it. And for many years, the DM's Guild didn't have the bundle functionality, which Drive-Thru RPGs always had, but DM's Guild only got it 6 months ago or so. So now I sell that in bundle format as well, which is why this number sort of stopped. This average per week used to be around 8, but it's gone down because now I sell them individually. And it's better that way for the consumer, because if you put something in a bundle, you know, the bracket, capital bundle bracket that says on DM's Guild, the buyer is afforded the discount if they already own a portion of it. So if there's 4 titles and they own 2 of them, they don't have to pay, they don't have to repay for those titles. And so finally DM's Guild did that, which was awesome because they hadn't had that functionality for the first, 3.5 years. So you see here I've got a couple 5 gold titles, some electrum, a lot of silvers, and then down here some coppers, and then some that haven't quite hit 51 sales yet. And then even still a few that haven't even sold any copies that we published a couple days ago. No one's bought it yet. So there's that. And the average per week is just something I have in here sort of to look at and keep track of it. Now, again, 23,000 items sold, $214,000 in gross revenue. And this is how many projects the team that I have has done. So I have about, I think, 211 things on DM's Guild. 94 of them have been done by the team. So I started out doing this in January of 2016 and just published like one thing and didn't know what I was doing. And I'll switch now to my personal income, and I'll show you how that went. So that's gross. That's gross and net sales. So we did that. Now the income, we'll show you. Yeah, here, this one. All right, let's see if I can get it to work. There we go. So let's go right up to the top first. So up here at the top, January 29th was my first day. I sold 2 items for Pay What You Want. It was the race and ability modifiers, and I think someone gave me $1 and someone gave me 10 cents. So I made $1.10. My half was 55 cents. And next day I sold one thing. Somebody gave me 26 cents. For whatever reason, they gave me 26 cents and I got half, so 13 cents. I don't know. Yeah, people do weird things with Pay What You Want. Now, I think the actual count, yeah, I'd be interested. You know what? I don't even remember that. Let's go look at that really quick. Let's go look at January 29th and see royalty report. So we're going to look at January 29th, 2016. And we're going to see, because I did Pay What You Want, right? So I sold 2, but I think, like 60 people got it or something. I don't know. Let's find out. Nope, 29th. January 29th. Let's just look at that one day. Include free and at cost. Okay, here we go. Let's run that and see what we get. So, yeah, so 42 people downloaded it, but only 2 paid for it. One paid $1 and one paid 10 cents. So I thought, okay, DM's Guild, this might be a thing. 55 cents. Let's see what we can do with this. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I'd never, all of you that have been creators since the beginning, it only started in January 2016, so nobody knew what the hell. So I said I did it. So then, I believe it was Matt McElroy at that time I had gotten into an email discussion with him, and he said, you know what, you should put prices on these. You got some pretty good stuff there. So I started putting prices and didn't make it pay what you want. And then, I must have not done that till early February or whenever it was. So here you can see I sold two things. I sold one, two, two. This is just my first few days. And I thought, well, and then, oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm talking too fast and my throat is too dry. So I hit like 10 sales in a day and I thought, okay. And I was super excited. And this was, whatever, 4 years ago. And so now I wasn't keeping these records at the time. I didn't go back and keep these records. I literally did what you saw me do just a second ago is I punched in each individual day. I did January 29th, then I did January 30th, and I ran that report. And I did that for 2 years. I did this a couple years ago. And I did that for 2 years and I caught up and I put it all into this spreadsheet. And so now you can see that, and then there were a couple days that had zero, and I was like, oh, this might not be anything. This is a bust. This isn't going to be. I sold 10. I never could quite get it going, and you can see now I'm into May. I'm into June. I'm still having 0 days. July of 2016, still a lot of 0 days. And I think whatever day it was, I made over $10 in a day. I think I freaked out. Yeah, like here. I was like, whoa, Thanksgiving, it's kind of whatever it was, November that year. I was like, oh my God, if I could just do this every day. So anyway, I kept going and I basically never stopped. Now I didn't start doing. This is all just me, all the way up till May of 17. Just me, just me. At one point, I started making the codes, which kind of became popular on Fantasy Grounds. And then right around late May of 17 is when I started working with other creators. And Tony Petrecka was my first collaboration on the DM's Guild. And then it just started spreading, and I just started sort of putting my name out there and putting the word out, and it kept going and going. So now we get down into the last couple of years where it starts to get pretty exciting, at least for me. So here's the most recent. Here's the most recent days up to yesterday. So yesterday I made 139, day before that 182, 53 the day before that. So a really bad day for me, like that I know not even $20. But I mean $20, that's better than zero, right? So and it highlight if it goes over 200 in a day, it gives me a highlight there and shows me. And then so at the December I made almost $4,000. Now, I will say that December 24th and 25th I did the Insanity package, and this is an adjustment I had to make because DM's Guild accounting got screwed up. I don't know what happened, but I keep meticulous records like daily, as you can see. So I went and looked at the whole thing, and their count was way off. I don't know what happened. So I made $900 that day and $800 that day. So my previous record in a day was, I think, Christmas Day of 18. I made $450. Whatever. Let's go look at that. Just because it's interesting. It was here. It was, oh no, it was 17, really? Yeah, it was 17 that I did that. Let's go look. Yep, for almost 449 was my previous record 2 years prior. And what I did was I made a big package and I sold it and whatever happened. So I did that this year, or into last year, 2019. I made an Insanity package, which was basically every single thing I've ever made. There was 168 titles in there for like 75% off, and authors kept emailing me like, "What's up? Like, why are we making all this money?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And but I can't do that every day because then it's a fire sale and everybody goes broke. So anyway, just to give you an insight behind the scenes here about me. Now, since I'm a nerd and I keep all these things, so average sales in a day 15. Now keep in mind that's through that's since the beginning of time. Now it's like 60 a day for this year. So $52 a day over the whole 4 years, but this year's average so far 120. It's a little high because it's only 21 days. Highest number of sales in a day, 1,500 items. I sold 1,500 items in a day, and that was December 24th of 19. Because 168 times whatever. I think 23 people bought it, and some people had some titles already, so it wasn't 168 times 23 would be much higher than that. But anyway, you get the idea. So highest day 971, total so far sold through yesterday 23,000 items. Total made out of the $214,000 in sales, 77 of that came to me. And again, that's over 4 years, so not to get too excited that that was like a yearly thing or anything. So here's what is really exciting to me anyway. First year, $688. And I thought, well, $688, and one whole year minus 28 days because I started on January 29th. Next year, almost 10 grand. Next year, almost 30 grand. Last year, $34,000. And you can see my average per day in the first year, $2. Next year, $27. Year after that, $80. Last year, $94. Now this year, again, we're only in January, so these numbers might skew high, but I have sold an average of $120 a day. This is, to me, my pocket, $120 a day, and I've made $2,500 this month so far in January of 2020. Now, based on this number divided by 21 times 366, because it's a leap year, would give you this. So the pace is 44,000. Now that, of course, will go down unless shit gets absolutely crazy. It's probably not going to sustain itself. But I mean, I can, unless DM's Guild blows up and the planet Earth gets nuked or whatever, I can expect to make 30 to 40 here, probably mid 30s, like I did last year. So that's that. So that's pretty exciting stuff, and it shows you what can be done on DM's Guild. And now there are some creators out there who just do PDFs, and they just do a few PDFs, and they sell like 5,000 copies or whatever. That's not what's happening with me, but they make a lot of money too. So I'm by no means of making the most money out of anybody. There's people that make way more. All right. So income and earnings, showed you that. Let's take a look at projects. So let me move this one back over to my other monitor, and let's take a look at projects. So this is everything I've ever done. Now, let me go back up to the top here. So 211 items on DM's Guild. I also am a developer for the Smiteworks store, so that's the Fantasy Grounds store directly. I have 47 items in there. 6 on Drive-Thru RPG. Those aren't really a concentration. The story I always tell to people in my circle that are, ask me about this stuff is, if you publish something on DM's Guild, it's like throwing a rock into a pond. If you publish something on Drive-Thru RPG, it's like throwing a pebble into the ocean. It's just, so many thousands, hundreds of thousands of titles. Not going to really get seen if people are just hunting around. And then I do have one book on Amazon. It's a comedy book because I used to be a stand-up comedian. Forget about that. All right. So 211 items. Of those 211, 49 of those are mine that I did by myself, and the other 162 are collaborations. So starting here with the first one, race ability modifiers and key class stats, published on January 29th, DM's Guild, right? You just go down through the sheet. Now, this is a public spreadsheet. The link will be in the description below on the YouTube video. And wow, dry throat is really hitting me, guys. So you go down here, and then when you start seeing names, these are other people that I worked with. Now, again, there's some Smiteworks titles in here. There's some drive-through titles like that. So 2017, I was, getting my feet, and I started working with some people, Jeff Stevens, Patrick E. Pullen, MT Black, guys, names you guys all know. So going down through, and then it goes all the way up to today. And then in this list are also projects being worked on. So the most recent title published were Serpent Isle and The Scourge of the Nightingale complete sagas, and also parts 1, 2, and 3 separately. So here B2 Keep on the Borderlands from AD&D is I worked on that with another guy, and he did most of it. That's going to be coming out soon on Fantasy Grounds. And then DM's Guild. Now there's a lot of Smiteworks stuff, like DDAL's EB series is already available on DM's Guild. I think the first 4 are there, but I'm doing the Fantasy Grounds conversion, not for DM's Guild, but for Smiteworks. So that's why you see that. But DM's Guild upcoming projects, Whims of the Heart. Actually, that's done. We're just waiting for Zeke to get us the higher res map so we can put those in there. Serpent Isle expansion by Josh Perry, and Vault of Magic 2 by Marco Bertrini. Those are all being worked on Fantasy Grounds versions. So that's basically that. And again, this will be public, so you guys can always look at this. You'll be able to see like what's going on and what I've done and all that stuff if you'd like. And so I've showed you that. So we'll close this. We looked at this, and we did look at the top VTT. Yes. So like for example, let's just look at what have I made today. I think it's like $40, unless it's changed. How do you do it? Royalty report right here. So January 22nd, 2020, boom, $40. Yep, $40. There you go. So half the day is gone, a little bit more than half the day. So maybe if that pace holds, I make $80 a day. Who knows? It always could change. Somebody go and buy a package, or maybe nobody buys anything. You never know. But the point is that if you are a creator or thinking about becoming a creator and putting your things on DM's Guild, you can contact me, and my email, which will be in the description below, but is rob.tui@gmail.com, not hard. You can contact me and we can set it up. So once again, how that works is you send me a comp copy of the, you go here to your account, and you go down here to promotional tools, and you click on send a comp copy. You put whatever the copy is in there, put my email, and hit send. I get a copy. Now, you wouldn't do that blindly. You'd want to contact me first so I can look out for it and know what's up. But once we get that material, your PDF, we would then, either myself and or my team, and I have about 5 people on my team, we would turn that material into a Fantasy Grounds module. We would then upload that module. So let me just pick anything. Oh, what? Serpent Isle. That was a recent one. So if I type Serpent Isle there, you see Serpent Isle here, and then you see the Fantasy Grounds version we did. So the PDF, the original, and the Fantasy Grounds. So we make a separate thing. We upload it, we sell it, we maintain it, we update it, whatever the hell we have to do is what we do. We always put a note, hey, by the way, everybody, this is a Fantasy Grounds module. I mean, it says mod right there, but people that buy stuff, they don't look, they don't pay attention. This is a Fantasy Grounds module. If you are looking for the PDF, click here, and if you click there, it takes you to the actual PDF version. So we always do that. And then we sell it. Now, what happens is that doesn't cost you anything. That's free. And we split the revenue out. So the DM's Guild that gets their cut, Fantasy Grounds gets their cut, and then out of the 50% that comes to us, you get your cut, we get our cut. So that's how that works. So it's really just found money and extra exposure for your product. So that's it. That's the whole sales pitch. And I wanted to, basically the reason I went through all the numbers and showed you everything was to really just legitimize my efforts and to show you that I'm working with all these people. So take a look down these names. Now these are the current people that I'm working on. Actually, Tyler isn't. I gotta change that. Oh no, yeah, he's when, yeah, okay. So but you can go down through and see these are all the authors that I've worked with, that I've done conversions for and other things. So there's like whatever, a lot. And some of these are partnerships among authors, so I just have the first name there. So I've worked with well over 100 people, I think, and out of so basically a rough calculation is about $50,000 has been paid out to other authors, not myself, from products that I've made. So $50,000. So it's a thing, and you're welcome to be part of it, is what I'm saying. So good. So I hope that you will, in fact, email me if you are a DM's Guild creator, and I can do this work for you, me and my team. There are other people out there that do it. I'm not the only one. I'll be very honest and transparent about that. There are other people that do this, but I've been doing it for 4 years, and as you saw at the beginning of the video, I do have the top 12 spots on the popular or on the hottest list or whatever. So I've kind of made this my life's work. Well, it's not my life's work, but it's the last 4 years. But I don't plan to stop, and I plan to keep on doing it and just doing more for everybody. And again, if you never have used Fantasy Grounds, or if you don't even know what it is beyond what I showed you, that doesn't even matter. You can just trust that there are a small segment of people out of all of D&D players who use it and love it and are very loyal purchasers. So the average percentage, I would say, of any PDF that is turned into a Fantasy Grounds module is about 10%. So for every 10 copies, I know you guys know what 10% means, but I'm just going to say it anyway. For every 10 copies of the PDF that is sold, one copy of the Fantasy Grounds module will be sold on top of that. Now, that's not a scientific number. That's just my rough estimate in looking at it over the course of 4 years. And one more thing that's interesting just for people, and some of you may have already figured this out, but let me go back to this. If you go here to days, the days report, this is the day of the week and where you get the most sales. So I've been selling for 208 weeks, so 4 years, right? And the number of dollars divided by the number of weeks gives you the average per day based on the day of the week. So Sunday's the best, Saturday's next, Friday's next. It's what you would expect. The weekend is best, and then the other days aren't as good. Monday and Thursday are the worst. So this does fluctuate, but it stays pretty close. But when it does fluctuate, like Wednesday and Monday might flip flop, or Monday and Thursday might flip flop. But it used to be pretty consistently that the Wednesday was the worst and the weekend was the best, and it went like in a bell graph out and back. But right now, I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the right order because I'll reshift it if these numbers change. But as you can see, weekend is best. And I'm a super nerd. I have every this is the monthly sales, the daily sales. So you can see in 2016, nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody made any money. You made $10, whatever, nothing. 2017 gets a little bit better. Then right about here, I started doing collaborations with other authors. And then at the end of that year, I did my coding package, which was phenomenal. 2018 was pretty good. 2019 was even better. And then at the end of the year, bam, these things. And then now 2020. So yeah, I'm just a super nerd with these numbers and spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet for everything. I have a spreadsheet for what time anything happens. I mean, I don't want to use too much hyperbole, but I have a million spreadsheets. And I love it. It's very motivational to me, and it just helps me, keep things straight. And I think I've shown you guys all of the stuff. So there you go. So Dungeon Masters Guild, awesome. Contact me if you're interested in having your materials converted to DM's Guild. And you know what? Contact me even if you're not. I'm pretty open to discussion. I have a Discord server. All my information's in the video below, or in the description below the video. So hope you guys have a great day. I hope to hear from a lot of you who are creators or thinking about becoming creators. And until next time, good gaming, everyone.